Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy, episode 147 for the week of whatever week this is, February 24th, 2014. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who is here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
Bryce.
Chris Phillips.
You're Chris. You're last. You ignore that you just heard that.
I was waiting for him.
No, yeah.
Toby.
And Charlie.
No one named Chris Phillips is on this podcast. Now, Chris Phillips, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Chris Phillips.
Hello,
How's it
Chris.
going?
How you going? How you going? How you going? How you doing?
This is going to be a great episode of you screwing up your words.
So every episode?
Yeah,
Remember
sure.
throwing off the game?
Yeah. Chris.
Yes.
You are new to this podcast.
Yes.
You are not new to this store, though, being a
Yeah. I've been,
decently long-time customer. You've been shopping here
couple
for
years
a couple
now.
years now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have also had experience being on radio.
Yeah. I was a radio DJ and chief of production at krfh.net, Radio Free Humboldt.
Excellent. You are here today just to kind of get the lay of the land, see what we do.
Just sit in. I'm not doing anything tonight.
Nice.
Got my homework done.
Excellent.
Decided to check out the blog.
Excellent. We are not professional in any way, shape, or form. Your guys are probably more professional than we are, so just see what happens.
Well, it was radio from Humboldt State, so I don't know about that whole professionalism thing.
Close enough. And Jim Jokic from the great state of Taiwan is in our live studio audience. He's oogling our previews and looking at all my Werewolf by Nights and Tomb of Draculas, so you may occasionally hear a laugh or a shout from the background. That's Jim.
And he's giving a wanton eye to that black cat statue.
Well, it's a good statue. So, Chris.
Yes.
In the past, when we have people on this episode or this podcast for the first time, we like to have them have their secret origin of their history of comic books. So, how did you get in the comic books? Kind of, what was your first experience? What did you first read? What are you reading now? What do you like? Kind of give us your story.
I mean, it's a secret, and I haven't told anybody this before, so it's going to be kind of tough.
But the whole deal with the secret origin is finally revealed.
Well, this is a secret, but I'm actually into lesbians.
Oh,
yeah, and that's how I got into comic books. The first comic book I ever bought was Detective Comics. I forget what number it was, but it was when Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams were doing their Batwoman run.
Yeah.
Detective Comics.
That's the first comic.
Yeah, that was the first comic I ever bought.
That's fairly recent.
I'm 23.
Oh.
So
I was like, wait a minute.
none of the rest of you have to reveal your ages. It's okay.
Well, you started with a good comic.
Yeah.
It was excellent. It was excellent. I'm a huge fan of Greg Rucka. I've gone back and read a lot of Greg Rucka stuff, and I patiently am awaiting Greg Rucka's return to the Bat family. I hope that happens at some point because his Bat stuff was excellent.
It's not going to happen anytime soon.
He's coming back to Bryce's X-Men first.
He's too busy writing Baby X-Men, so
He's a young man.
Teenage Cyclops.
I can hope and dream. But yeah, so that was in Las Vegas, actually. Las Vegas comic book store. I won't name it.
What? No. So what got you into it? What you just heard about it? Or?
I was not 21 yet, so my options in Vegas were more limited than they are now.
Okay.
So I was just looking for something to do, and I decided to go to the local comic book shop, and I went through their dollar bins because I'm a cheap bastard, and somehow the Detective Comics ended up in the dollar bin, and I just saw those covers, and the Batwoman covers on Detective Comics are just absolutely gorgeous. J.H. Williams, if you're not familiar with J.H. Williams, I recommend you go look at it. Really amazing stuff. So that's what got me into it was the art, and then the writing is what brought me back, and I've been in comics ever since.
So did you watch like the cartoons or the movies or anything beforehand?
Yeah, Batman the animated series. That was when I was a kid, I watched a lot of that amazing stuff. But so Batman the Animated Series, Justice League, what is it called?
Unlimited.
Unlimited, yeah. Watched all those when I was a kid. But yeah, I was never into comics until, like 3 or 4 years ago.
Cool.
What scares me, he says, when I was a kid, I was long gone an adult at that point.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens, to everyone.
man. There are younger people. Every day.
No, I'm just more worried about myself, not about you guys.
I know I've told this story to a few of the guys here, but I don't know if I've told this on the podcast. Maybe I did a week or two ago. I don't even remember. But I had a guy, kid, man, person, young adult, come into the store a handful of weeks back and ask if we bought old comics. And my response is always the same. Old is in 30s and 40s, or old is in 80s and 90s? And his response was 2010.
Oh my gosh!
So I was like,
doesn't even qualify as old.
Well, just what were they?
I mean, I was like, no. I mean, my answer was no. It didn't matter what they were. I shouldn't say that.
2010 was like yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I was sitting in the exact same, I mean, literally, probably the same chair in 2010. In the same spot. Like, that is not a long time ago in any way, shape, or form.
Did you ask him if he had any old chairs?
Yeah.
I think the only thing we changed on that was the piston because it broke.
Yeah, like, I think old, pre-Marvel now, right? And that's old. So... back during those.
Now.
Yeah, back before, Bendis' Guardians. That was a long time ago.
2010. Wow.
Where were you in 2010?
From 2010.
I'd take some of those.
I was doing illicit drugs at Humboldt State University.
So, our internet has decided to not work today, and without the internet, we have no knowledge of anything, which kind of sucks, so I'll continuously try to load the internet. I do have some questions on Twitter that we can answer, but we have a few things I know we want to talk about beforehand. So we'll have this episode to talk about a few things not comic-related, but funnily enough, it became quite a source of jokes and parody between myself and Toby over the course of the last week, has been... both the simultaneous release of the New Warriors #1 by Marvel Comics, which is comic book related, which anyone listening to this podcast knows and Toby, and a little bit of Brock, and a little bit of Bryce, and a little bit of Charlie's love of these characters in this
Fairly big deal in this store.
Yeah. More than probably
Fairly
every other store combined. And my first basketball game ever, going to a Warriors game, a Golden State Warriors game, and being, as Toby called it, a new Warriors fan. So,
See what you did there.
Toby, you want to do a little? You can give me your sports ball talk here for a minute. I think you were pretty excited taking me out to this game.
I was very excited because it's always fun to take the Ryan Higgins out to something he's never done before.
Now there is a backstory to why you took me to this game. Do you want to?
Yeah. So, as you guys know, a couple of months ago, when I started all the Bizarro Ryan stories, which took a life on its own, where Ryan would watch sports in the store and explain baseball to me, which I actually don't know. I grew up without baseball in another country, so that was a completely strange and new thing to me. I mean, I knew about it. I know what it's about. I don't know the rules. I don't know the points. So he starts literally explaining to me the rules and what they're going to do. I'm like, what? Get the fuck out of here. What's going on? Ryan is explaining sports to me. And then bizarrely, Ryan goes, you know what? I'll take you to a game. You take me to a basketball game. I'm like, done. That's a deal I can do. I'll show you basketball. You show me baseball. So
but
it's
I
like,
know basketball. I mean,
yeah,
I play
you show me yours, I show you mine. It's how it works.
Will you take me to a basketball game?
Well, I don't have any tickets anymore. So.
Oh, no.
But, so, I was like, yeah, let's do this. And, of course, Ryan was begging, can Leanne come?
I wasn't begging. She had said, hey, if there's extra tickets, I'll come along. I was like,
anyways, we made that happen.
Toby.
He's just being a responsible boyfriend.
Yeah, there's more stories in regards to that. That's not radio friendly, but let's move on. What's it called? So when the game starts, it was awesome because the first thing, the opening ceremony starts and there's like lightning's happening and guys going super fast and stuff. He turns around to me and goes, hey man, what's this? Is this the Justice League? Like,
well, because the intro to the Warriors, like they're running around, the Bay Area and kind of California as like with like superpowers. I'm like, okay, cool. They have the right intro here.
Did he have capes on? Like, what was going on?
He got really fired up. It was awesome.
They're running around like the Flash, and they're growing all big and giant, and they're like smashing through cities and stuff. I was like, all right,
like
all
this
right.
was going on the video screen.
Yeah. When they're bringing them all in.
Yeah, so Ryan got excited, so that was good. And also, I told him beforehand he should wear, blue and gold colors. And he responded with, I could wear my, Booster Gold shirt.
Or my Nova shirt.
Or the Nova,
right?
Yeah. So he would have been in theme of the New Warriors thing if he actually did it. But he wore a dress shirt because he was on a date with his woman. He wore a nice dress shirt, so maybe the New Warriors shirt was underneath. I didn't know. Maybe he just didn't say.
That Booster Gold shirt, I saw it the day after you.
Yeah, I wore it the day after.
Fantastic shirt. Yeah. What does it say?
Like just a Booster Gold fan club.
Yeah.
It's the one they have on Smallville and everything.
Yeah.
It was so good.
But, the game went on. He was actually, rather than me, when we drove there, I explained to him which all the key players are. But while we're at the game, the funny thing is, he was actually explaining the whole time to his girlfriend what the game is about. I'm like, well, he's got it in full control. I'm going to let him go.
I know the rules to basketball. I don't know all the specifics. There's some... even in baseball, which I mean I've followed since I was a kid, there are some bizarre rules that get brought out from time to time. But I know the most of the basics of basketball.
Do you like it?
Well,
yeah,
talking
sure.
about secret origins, you informed me that you actually played basketball. What is that like, being an athlete?
I did. I mean, when I was a kid, I played soccer. I played Little League. I played basketball.
What a change! What a transformation!
I mean, yeah, like anything. When I kind of got, high school, I stopped a lot of that. But yeah, but I was tall and thin when I was a kid. I hit 6 feet like really young. So I was always a little bit taller than everyone else, and then I
You're still tall.
But then I completely stopped growing, and so everyone caught up with me or passed me.
Yeah, but some Asians didn't like me.
But yeah, no. So with basketball, I mean, I played basketball a ton when I was a kid because I was a little bit taller, and when you're that young, that makes a huge difference. But I just didn't stick with it as I got older. But
Cool.
But it was a fun game, and Toby got one of his bucket lists.
Yeah, I got some bucket lists. So I want to see a real fight at a game. I want to see a buzzer beater at a game, and I want to see overtime in a game. And as the game went on, I'm like, this is becoming a reality here. It could go overtime. And it was funny, like, the Rockets scored, and Liano's turning to him, oh, I'm so sorry, they're about to lose. I'm like, you idiot, 6 seconds left on the clock. You haven't seen basketball, obviously. Of course, Stephen Curry goes up, scores a 2, got fouled, makes a free throw, tied. I'm like, excellent. And Harden got one more shot. He missed it, luckily. And we got my overtime game, so I was very excited.
Just for you.
Just for me.
Yeah.
Also, maybe they knew you guys wanted to go home. They're like, fuck you. We're going to make this an overtime game and keep you guys here. No, I'm joking. It was an excellent game. It was you picked the perfect game to come along, so it was really cool.
Well, now me and you are going to an A's and Red Sox game.
Excellent. That needs to be overtime, too, now.
Overtime.
It's called extra innings.
Yeah, overtime's a little different in baseball.
Fine,
but
I'll take it.
But it's fun. It's fun. It's fun when it goes
Or
long,
a fight.
So. What's that?
Or a fight.
Oh, you want to fight?
Well, that's every.
There's
all
a
hockey.
Niners Raiders preseason game this year. That's where you'll see the fight.
Yeah. Fights.
You might see a stabbing.
That's in the parking lot.
Yeah, I want to see the players.
Fights happen a lot.
Yeah, the parking lot thing is normal.
Players aren't going to fight in a pregame.
In
Go
other
back to the
sports.
part where you're an A's fan, Toby.
I'm not.
No, it's
No,
not.
I don't know
They're going
baseball.
Red Sox.
Yeah, but he said A's Red Sox. He didn't say Giants Red Sox.
Well, that would be World Series at that point. They're opposite.
I'll go to that.
They're not
Can
in
you
the
take
same
me to
league.
that, Ryan Higgins?
right.
Huh?
Can you take me to that,
There's
Ryan
a
Higgins?
lot of sports
Possibly.
talk.
Yeah, you're right. That's my
Possibly.
bad.
Yeah. But the reason this joke was being thrown around so much over the week and during the course of the game, you even explained it to your friend, like, oh, he likes the new Warriors, not the Warriors. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Was because we were talking about the release of the new Warriors #1 by Marvel Comics.
Yes.
By who the hell's the guy that does this? It's
Yost.
Marcus Toe and Chris Yost.
Christ.
I just the name.
Wow.
The name blanked. It's sitting right in front
He's
of me.
legit.
There's a lot of Chris's here
God.
tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of Chris.
Not a lot of Yosts.
Chris Yost. Now, this is a personal favorite comic of mine. I mean, the New Warriors, the series in general. So I was very excited for this. Although,
If Ryan would get a tattoo, it would be a New Warriors.
just right there, just
Yeah.
speedball on my chest.
On his chest
Number one
or on his
chest.
butt cheeks.
To get
one
the
or the
criminal
other.
style, just like
Yeah.
arched across.
Yeah. Over his belly, New Warriors in like the the font, the special font.
But my fear, the last 2 times they've done these, they've been not the best.
No, it has. I like the fake New Warriors, the fake X-Men Warriors.
You like the X-Men one more than I did.
that was good. Do you like that one?
The
Jubilee
initiative one?
The Jubilee let the Warriors with the brother of Night Thrasher.
It's all the depowered mutants.
Yeah, I remember that.
I like that one.
Did I like it?
Really? I like that one a lot, actually.
It was fine.
It was
It was
okay.
fun.
It was so different. It shouldn't have been called the New Warriors.
It was definitely not New Warriors. I call it the fake New Warriors, the X-Men New Warriors.
The last time the New Warrior showed up for real was in the Nova series when I think it was Justice and Firestar, maybe?
Wow.
Showed up
Yeah.
in an issue of Nova, and they had like flashbacks to New Warrior stuff. So that's the last time we've kind of really seen the team
So
in any
can
regards.
we and will we get a review of your hallowed New Warriors #1
Yes.
by
Yeah.
Ryan Higgins?
Yeah.
which
You started.
everybody-
By Ryan
Everybody
Higgins.
everybody is looking to get.
Yeah, it was okay.
I'm sweating in anticipation.
Well, here's the problem. It's a Marvel #1. So it's 20 pages and not a lot happens. It's a lot of setup of
a lot of blah blah.
The
This
eight-
is blah blah.
Well, there's 8 characters in the book, and everyone gets 2 pages, and the villain gets like 4 pages, and that's the thing. So it's okay. I like where they're going with this. You're taking a bunch of kid characters from sort of all over the Marvel universe,
Except for one.
and I'm assuming,
Kane.
Kane.
It's not a kid character.
No,
Yeah.
but I mean,
He should be the grumpy old guy on the team.
He could be, but Kane's still, I think, supposed to be younger.
Really?
Not
Like-
that
he's not like 30s or 40s. I mean, I thought Kane was kind of like in his 20s,
he is.
mid
Yeah,
late
no, he was
20s
old.
or
I'd say
something.
30s.
They
Really?
draw him young in this book.
Yeah,
I think
but
it's
he's
the
supposed
artist,
to be old.
But I mean, he was
Not
around
old,
obviously
but
for the
young
Clone
old.
Saga. I mean, he's been around since the 90s, which makes
Yeah,
him
he had
ancient.
crazy old bum hair, like with long hair and beard
Maybe.
and everything.
I mean, he's as old as Peter Parker, right?
I guess.
Yeah, the
who
Scarlet.
now is in his mid-20s. So there you go.
I haven't been following Spider-Man.
They didn't-
Sad I brought that up.
They didn't even introduce this guy.
Well, so first of all,
Which guy?
we
Show me.
have
This one.
Speedball
that
and
Asian dude?
Justice, who were
With
on
clay powers.
who
I think so.
Speedball and Justice, who were on the the original
Yeah.
newer.
Pretty sure
obviously.
speedball is a name for a drug.
It is. So I actually have an interesting story about that.
Oh, you have some of that?
I like stories about drugs.
Again, I feel like I told this on the podcast before, but in case I didn't, many years ago there was an internet. This is like AOL days and before.
Ryan likes to be on it, and it's like, I love
You mean
Speedball, and all of a sudden he
dial-up?
got a weird package.
Oh, this is like 9600, by dial up. This is like.
Did you get your internet via CD-ROM?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So this was back in the day of Imagination, or the Sierra Network, if anyone knows what that is. Sierra Games, who make a lot of classic point-and-click adventure
A
games,
lot
and
of
stuff like
good
this. Yeah,
classic point-and-click adventure games.
had an online basically service that had kind of like this MMO type game called Shadow of Serbia, I believe it was, and a bunch of these little door games, kind of mini games and stuff. And you can kind of make your avatar look whatever you want. And so I made my character had this big like yellow hair, and I call myself my username was Speedball. And a couple weeks after
Did you
having
get
this,
banned?
well, a couple weeks after having this, one of the mods was like, "Hey, you have to change your username. It's a drug reference. You're not allowed to have that." Which nowadays, everything's fucking 420 toke XXX or something. So at the time, though, they were like, "Hey, you can't have your username with this." I was like, "Why?" They're like, "Well, because it's a drug reference." And I'm a kid. I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I'm naming myself after a comic book character, and he looks like this. And the guy's like, "Okay, hold on, I'll be right back." And he came back like 5 minutes later. He was like, "Yeah, that's fine. You can use it. That's fine." Because I guess
5 minutes because it was the early days of the internet.
Right, this is before Wikipedia, and you could just Speedball. Oh, there you go. So he went around and asked people, I guess, in the office, and someone was like, "Yeah, that's totally a character."
It was this old. He went through his Rolodex and called people his
Maybe.
comic book reference people.
Sure. So,
Let me call the Marvel
S,
guy.
S, S, or maybe it's under B.
Dial phone.
well, so we have Speedball and we have Nova and Justice, and they're kind of been in the Nova comic more, kind of setting up this New Warriors. You have Sun Girl, right? Sun Girl,
Yeah.
who was
Yeah.
introduced in Spidey Team Up, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. The Spider-Man Team Up book
Is she
recently.
brand new, kind of?
Yeah, she's a brand new
they
character.
did the whole origin and stuff.
She's okay. I like her.
Okay.
Yeah, she's fine.
She was in like two or three issues, and that was pretty cool. You have Scarlet Spider, who we've talked about
Hell
before, who had
yeah.
a great series that just recently got
Is there
canceled.
going to be a giant omnibus? Because that one might have to have.
Probably. And what's his friend?
Arcelli.
Her Kelly.
Something like that.
Oh, Araceli. Right?
Araceli.
Yeah.
I don't
Not
know.
R.
I
Kelly?
could probably spell it, but I could not pronounce it.
Wait,
Yeah.
isn't your wife Hispanic?
So,
And then there's an Atlantean who's
is that
in
the
here.
fake Namorita? That's what I call her.
Farah Sar Nemora. So Nemora being the Nemorita's mom.
What?
Nemora was Nemora was I think that's her cousin. So Nemora is Nemora's sister, I guess, right? No.
Why do I feel like we're on an episode of Jerry
But
Springer?
Nemorita's the cousin of Namor, so that would make Nemora, well, some relation to Namor. And then there's another guy in the cover who I'm assuming is a Morlock, because at the very end of the issue they show the High Evolutionary, who's kind of the big villain in the first arc, attacking the Morlocks. Or at least that's what it seems to be. Even though Marrow's in it, that looks like Marrow. So people are like, "Oh, it's Marrow," and I'm like, "I don't think that's Marrow because she's in X-Force."
No,
But then I look back and I'm like, "Oh, it's totally Marrow."
Right.
So
That's one
it's
of
a
my
weird.
That's a very small problem I had with the book, was that it's totally Marrow.
Yeah.
And she looks like she's fighting alongside Guido
Yeah.
in the Morlock tunnels, but it's like, by the way, I don't know if you've seen Morlock recently, Christopher Yost, but I do prefer the old Bones coming out Marrow.
Yeah, but she's totally different
than
now.
the Cable, or I'm sorry, X-Force,
Yes.
Metal Bones, Punk,
Yeah, this is like '90s Marrow.
Psycho,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
The new Marrow, I mean, we'll probably get to that, or I guess you guys didn't get to it last week, but the new X-Force.
I thought we talked.
We talked. I got like 5 pages in.
A little bit.
You did a very little bit.
Maybe what they did was they went back in time to get the old Marrow and brought her forward.
Well,
that could be what it is. So, I think he's a Morlock as well.
Yeah, so it was an okay issue, but again, it's so introductory. But it's got some characters I like, and I'm happy for it. I'm hoping it works well. High Evolutionary is a cool character. I mean, there were a couple Marvel Now #1s we talked about last week on and off. Some of these new #1s that came out. Some of them were bad. This was not bad. It's part 1 of a 5-part story, so you're just not given a lot. The team's not together. I mean, in New Warriors #1, the original one back in 1990, I mean, you have the 6 major characters meet, you're given all their background, their origins, and they fight Terrax and beat him in 22 pages. This, it's like 20 pages, and we barely know what's going on. It's just modern comics. It's nothing.
But I will say that my thing about this kind of issue is I actually like the fact that, because I read so many comics, the fact that this directly picks up after the events in like the Scarlet Spider book, and that it's building on the events in the Nova book. It kind of reminded me of the new X Factor one also, the way it kind of continued the Gambit book, and I like that. I like when comics kind of pull in from what's around them, and therefore, like, anybody who is reading the Scarlet Spider book should be reading this book. Anybody who is reading the Nova book should be reading this book.
Yes.
It's the right way to launch a new series, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it's connecting to the characters they should connect to. So,
yeah, that's a great call. So, over under on this lasting 24 issues. Over or under?
Oh, that's a cold call.
Is it double shipping or not double shipping?
I think it's 18. I think it's 18 a year, because I think they're double shipping 1 and 2 and not 3, which means they're probably double shipping 4 and 5.
Okay, lightning round. Over under on 24 numbered issues. Go.
It'll end at 24. That's 24 in an annual or something. That's a nice
omnibus. Okay, Brock, over under.
Man, probably about the same.
I say under.
I'm going to go under.
I hate to say this, but I'm going to say under.
Well, Scarlet lasted like 36 issues. Nova's already up to like 10 or 11. I'm
hoping different.
I'm giving it over.
Yeah.
I'm hoping different.
I hope it is over. But Scarlet Spider, same writer, similar artist.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same popularity-wise material, frankly.
Yeah.
Well, it just
24
depends.
issues was his, I think, last issue.
No, I think it was 36, wasn't it? Wasn't Scarlet Spidey 36?
No.
Is it only
25 is up there, so it's more than 24.
It didn't get an annual.
That's why I
25.
chose 24 as
so there you go. So 25. So maybe we'll get 25. I thought it went another 12 issues. Maybe not.
Yost should run Runaways.
Man, Yost, I love Yost. I wish that it would do better.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it will be over primarily because I think if they market it correctly and bring people who are reading Scarlet Spider in and bring people who read, like...
The problem is there's not that many on Scarlet Spider.
Cancel the date. Like, that's what we're going to hear tomorrow. Cancel the date. Suck.
Comic Book Resources. Bleeding Cool.
Yeah.
Ryan Higgins.
Well, I agree.
Sheds a tear.
Scarlet Spider may not have had the numbers to continue. I think the Scarlet Spider's numbers combined with the Nova numbers and stuff could.
Did Nova stop too, or did continuing on that
No,
one?
Nova's still going.
Right, but it won't be like that because Scarlet Spider, how many of those fans were reading that because it was a Spider-Man book and then dropped it because New Warriors is not a Spider-Man book? I agree with what you're saying abstractly.
No.
And it was put in my box by Ryan, not only because he knows that I'm a New Warriors fan-ish, but because I love Yost and I love and I was on the Scarlet
art's
Spider.
awesome on the book too.
The art is awesome, and I was reading Scarlet Spider, and I totally agree with what you're saying about how it was a great segue. I have not been reading Nova, but I do love the idea that they dovetail into one good reading book.
My favorite part. Well, hold on. My favorite part is that we're going to spend more time talking about New Warriors #1 than we have all the other Marvel Now #1s combined. Because we're like, the Cap crap, X-Force, awful, Punisher, that was okay. New Warriors, okay, big, long, in-depth conversation. Here we go.
Hey, this is why I went under. I'm just a cynic, and I just believe Marvel's going to discover a new point today or something before we get to 24.
Yeah,
I mean, I read through it, and I think
what the other three you think?
It had some, issues like definitely 20 pages. Not really much happens.
That's normal these days.
Well, it didn't.
That's comics in
general,
but it didn't
grab me enough to be like, I really need to pick up number 2 when it comes out. Like,
That's where it depends on if you like the characters or not. So,
yeah, and that's and that's a big driving force with this book is are these characters going to carry people into getting issue 2 and 3 and 4?
Now, I'm voting for a cameo by Night Thrasher, the brother. I'm voting for a cameo by Namorita. I think she's still alive. I could be wrong.
She died in Annihilation.
Why did you destroy my world?
No, didn't she die?
The
after
Silhouette needs to
Conquest?
come back.
Well, in the Annihilation stuff.
Really? Silhouette could come back. Rage could come back.
No, Night Thrasher he's dead, right? In the future?
The original one.
It's
the brother
comic
was.
books. What does it matter if they're dead
There's no
currently?
such thing as dead.
No, but the other point I was going to make, though, Scarlet Spider and Spider-Man both have been associated with the New Warriors over and over. So Scarlet Spider on the New Warriors book wasn't a surprise to me at all.
No, he was in the old series.
I know Ryan's disappointed that there's not going to be a Superior Spider-Man New Warriors team up.
No, I don't want that.
I'd be fine with that.
I don't want that.
So they did,
Actually, I want to see Superior Spider-Man versus Scarlet Spider. They're both kind of a-holes.
Yeah.
Hey,
They did a crossover not that long
Yeah.
This
ago.
could be fun.
Spider-Man team up against the
Was it
Jackal.
good?
Actually, it was really good.
Oh, I got to read that.
speaking of a-holes,
Well, did you guys, anything else? New Warriors? Good? You're fine?
I just very quickly, last thing, want to say that they did a great job. Nicesia in the volume 1.
Yeah.
Nicesia and Mark Bagley.
Yeah.
Great cartoony story and art style.
Yeah.
They did
like
a similar job here. Yost is a great sort of next generation Nicesia, and I don't even know who the artist is, but he does a
Marcus Toe.
Yeah,
Two.
he
He's
did work
great.
on...
He came over from Aspen.
Yeah, he did work on Red Robin, and he did something else prior to this, too. Blanking.
I thought it was a good sort
Yeah.
of follow-up to the Nicesia Bagley next generation.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're
No,
right.
it's a fun book. I mean, everything is very fitting, and it's the stuff I really like about comic books, so I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. So, Brock was...
Wait,
was
it's better than the gloomy shit that Marvel's trying to put out. Never mind.
Marvel.
Yes.
Was there other stuff?
Or like the fake Moon Knight, which could be cool, and the good Hawkeye, which seems like gloomy artsy, and Daredevil's gloomy artsy, all this hipster comic book stuff. Now we've got a New Warriors comic that feels like a comic book again. Thank you.
I don't disagree. Although I like some of those other books as well.
I do like the Daredevil. Don't stick your head at me.
Moon Knight.
So hold on. I know that you're about to segue, but first of all, Daredevil is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hawkeye is amazing.
I said Daredevil was
Moon Knight,
amazing before you were
hasn't
on
even
it.
come out yet.
Yeah,
so
but they
what
changed
is your
the
problem
shit.
with those three? Because you just named those three as being your problem.
I didn't like
Marvel
Hawkeye
publishes
that
a
much.
lot of hipster comics these days.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I am, fighting my own internal hipster battle myself, but I love Hawkeye. Haven't read the other two, but what is your problem with the hipster comics?
I
that
just
Marvel's
don't
coming
like.
out with?
I don't like it. I don't like it. I read Hawkeye, gave it a fair shot. I read like 8 issues of it. Stories are cool. I don't think I'll reread it. It's
Okay.
about there.
Okay.
I love Moon Knight myself. I don't like him being in that style.
Has it come out yet?
Nope.
So okay.
And Daredevil, I said, was really good before you even started saying it was good. So there.
He just doesn't like the art.
I just don't like the art.
Got it. Sounds like you don't really have that much of a problem with him.
Well, here's something that I think 4 people at this table will enjoy. Brock is Brock. And Chris...
I'm the new guy.
Your opinion on Marvel movies
God, you got
frightens and confuses me.
you have one concern. You have a few concerns, and you're a hater.
So, the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer finally
Wait,
came
you're
out
a hater?
last
No,
week.
I'm not. God damn.
Oh.
The Guardians of the Galaxy trailer finally came out last week.
Ooh.
Brock, tell me what you don't like about it.
I have some concerns.
Like, what's the
It's a
concern?
trailer. It's a 2-minute
I
trailer.
saw a very Bendis art style Guardians looking ship in there, and I'm like, oh no.
So?
It's
Bendis?
live
By the way,
action.
Bendis doesn't do the art.
No, I know. But the
It's
Bendis
live
run.
action.
The Bendis Guardians book is pretty decent. So
Yeah.
go ahead, continue.
And then,
Wait, maybe we could do some more backstory for us.
I just
Ryan,
want to
since-
want to drag the haterade out of Brock.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
To get it
Brock's
out of
not
the
being
way.
very forthcoming. with your
Yeah.
obvious-
See, now he's on the hot seat. He's not really freaking spilling the beans right now. Come on, bring it out, Brock.
He needs our love to fuel his hate.
yeah, no,
Yeah, so you're saying
So you can't do it on your own without us starting to like it. So
no, I can do it. It's just all I'm
do
going to
it.
hear is just whatever.
Bring it on.
You don't know what you're talking about.
bring it on. Bring it on.
No, I'm
no, what's this?
I'm
No,
a
no,
critic.
no.
I'm a critic myself. I
No,
want to
I
hear
just
it.
have concerns. The team up is great. Like the team, Abbott and Lanning's Guardians looks fantastic. It looks like a ship from the new Guardians. The new Guardians isn't that good. So I'm like, I hope
this
it
is like
doesn't
my
bleed
buddy
into
who
it.
hates Romeo Must Die, which is not a good movie, but he hated a movie because they were using a basketball when they were trying to survive in the sea. And he goes, this could have been no way in parts that basketball should have not existed during that time. Because of that, he hates the movie. I was like, that's the most retarded way to hate a movie.
No, I don't hate it. I have a concern that it's going to be more like the Bendis run versus the better Abbott and Lanning run.
Well, the problem with that is that Bendis has only been working on it for a handful of months, and the script has been filmed and done for 2 years now.
Great
so
point.
I don't.
What else do you have to say, Brock?
Why don't you know? What if it's Bendis run is basing their ship onto the movie version?
That is more than likely.
Hopefully that's the case.
That Bendis
I mean,
took
it's very likely.
cues from what he already knows is coming up, and elements of it is put into the current series.
Well, that's what I hope.
Wait, I'm not super familiar with a lot of Marvel stuff.
Bryce wants to eat the microphone.
I can tell you that it's going to make $1 billion just like every other Marvel movie so far, because it's going to be funny. People are going to laugh. It doesn't matter if they're familiar with the comics or not, and things are going to blow up, and that's why it's going to make $1 billion.
Well, not every Marvel movie makes $1 billion. I just want to say that here.
Yeah.
A lot of them make a lot of money. Yeah.
Well, no. Iron Man
hyperbole,
3
but like-
and
No, it's not hyperbole.
Avengers
Look at the money.
$1 billion, but like I want to say Thor 2 capped out at like $750 million or $800 million.
Oh, I'm sorry,
or something
$750 million.
I know. I'm just saying, not that many crossed that
$250
billion
million
mark.
is still
No,
a lot
it's
of
the
cash.
exact same thing as his point is
Yeah.
that he's making.
Oh no, they're going to make shit tons
No,
of
they'll
money.
make money hand over fist.
I think when you start to throw in like DVD sales and stuff, you're probably getting close.
Exactly.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
wait,
3D.
I'm having a tough time understanding. I've heard one argument, and that's all I've heard, which is that it looks like a Bendis ship, and you quickly rescinded that when you heard that they were working on that before Bendis took over. So, do you
Now
have
there's
any
a-
other?
Yeah, bring it on, Brock.
Yeah, bring it on. We're arguing about a 2.5 minute trailer.
I know.
Now, there's a popular song that I think Quentin Tarantino brought into the public eye many years ago, Hooked on a Feeling, which, I mean, was obviously a song before that, but I feel ever since Tarantino put that in his movie...
Tarantino puts a lot of songs.
Good.
out
a lot of
there.
good songs in his
This
movies.
is a Tarantino, an homage to Tarantino.
No, but Hooked on a
No.
Feeling was in Reservoir Dogs, and
I didn't remember.
Great
that.
movie.
and
It was a great movie.
and I think that kind of catapulted that song to to the modern audience of that time, to something that a lot of them probably didn't know.
That's okay. This trailer caused it to jump up on iTunes.
And
so
that's exactly what I'm saying, is that I think Brock also has a dislike of a certain song that appears in this.
No, the song's
that what it is?
The song's okay.
You hate
I'm
good
just,
music?
Do you just have a beef with John C. Reilly?
No.
Can we hear from Brock what his arguments about
I've heard them. I've heard them. So
Well,
I'm
I
just-
would love to hear them because so
I'm just
far I've heard
prodding.
F all.
No, he's not prodding. I'm not a big fan of songs at certain points. They don't hit me very well. So when that song's playing and all we're seeing is the Guardian's text, it didn't really fit too well with
Okay,
me.
so if we're gonna bullet point
That was
this,
freaking
we're doing a
awesome.
terrible job. You don't like the look of the ship. You didn't like the point that the song was played. Keep going. Or maybe that's it.
Did you not like the Nova costumes?
I hope the humor is at least better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. humor.
It already is by the trailer.
There's a lot of
the
things
trailer
that
alone
are
is already better than any Agents of
We were
S.H.I.E.L.D.
all sitting there going amped up watching the Agents of
It
S.H.I.E.L.D.
was
trailer,
horrible.
and then it turned out to be garbage.
It was horrible.
So I just have concerns. It's difficult to put humor in an action movie.
I agree.
and
Anything
if
else,
this
or-
is a lot of
Except for Bad Boys and any Michael Bay movie.
Humor in an action movie. Come on.
True Lies was a good combination.
Bad Boys? Any Michael Bay movie?
Star Wars.
It takes a certain.
That was a pure comedy.
Star Wars. There's a lot of comedy in Star Wars.
There's a lot of comedy in Spaceballs too.
A lot of very funny moments in Star Wars.
But I'm just concerned. It will do phenomenal in the box office.
So I'll tell you when I was concerned. A second before I saw the trailer. And I watched the trailer and I was like, done. I need to see this movie right now. This trailer was incredible. This looks hilarious. I am so beyond stoked and so happy because it still can bomb. Don't get me wrong. We still don't know yet. But this trailer, I think, was about the perfect way to introduce the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, no,
If I
it looks
recall,
great.
you took off your shirt and started running around the store.
I did. Yeah.
He was swinging it over his head like a helicopter.
He was showing off his new warrior tattoo across his belly.
To me, what nails and what makes this trailer just about perfect is the joke at the beginning of when you're talking to Star-Lord, and they're like,
Who the fuck are you
"Who are
guys?
you?"
I had the same question.
Well, that is
Well, that's
why
the whole point.
That
That's
is
the whole
why
point.
this trailer exists. We are going to show you a minute and a half explaining who these characters are, bullet point, and then we're going to show you 30 seconds of things exploding in fights.
And a raccoon.
Sure, right, because that's what people want to see. They were like, okay, we know who these people are. They're awesome and badass. They're all Han Solos. Excellent. It's Serenity. Done. Okay, explosion time. Yes.
The way I put it after I saw the trailer was that it looks like a Marvel movie. It looks like a Marvel comic. It has all the humor, the wit, and the explosions, and it looks like a Marvel comic.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you did not like the trailer?
No, I liked it. I liked
I
it.
thought you were lumping him in the same category as...
No,
Chris doesn't like some. We've had conversations about. He's not a big fan of all the Marvel movies.
yeah,
so.
I thought the first Thor was terrible.
Well,
Absolutely
nobody's
terrible.
perfect, Chris. So I think that what we're looking for here is that, yes, I agree with, it seems to be everybody, that it will make a boatload of money, whether or not it is panned or excellent.
Guardians is a case where that if it's panned, I could see it doing really poorly in the movie because this isn't Iron Man, this isn't Avengers, this is something that doesn't have an audience. It could say from the makers, from the studio, blah blah blah, connection.
I'm thoroughly surprised at how many people are excited for this that probably never heard of Guardians before this.
There's no way that it makes less than $300 million.
But Guardians is
That's an easy bet.
Guardians is the test. Because this is what we've been saying the whole time. If Guardians succeeds, then the sky's the limit.
Everything goes.
And the thing is the build-ups come from Thor: Dark World, having the Collector in the trailer credits, and then Captain America, if they do it correctly, will have a little bit of a build-up.
But we don't. But
Supposedly Captain America is straight going into Ultron.
But no one knows that. I mean, people don't. I mean, no one that saw the end of Thor 2, except for 5 people in the audience, knew that this was a lead in the Guardians. Because it doesn't say Guardians of the Galaxy or anything like that. I mean,
you do see the Collector for a brief second in the trailer.
But normal folks don't.
They have no idea what that is.
Yeah, but I think at this point, Marvel has branded itself very, very well at the movies. That just it being the Marvel summer blockbuster will carry.
I mean, this is where they did so well. I mean, each Marvel movie technically is a sequel of the other one, whether it's directly or indirectly. So at this point, the next Marvel movie, people are going to get excited about it.
So, no matter what its budget, with no A-list stars, $300 million minimum, I mean, it's a success. I mean, there's no, I mean,
it'll
even
do,
if it flops,
I'm going to
it's
say
a success.
$600 million.
It'll do
minimum.
well.
Right. But, like, at $100 million, it's a success.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know what the budget
guessing
is.
his
They probably
budget's
spent
above
200.
You think?
No, it's probably somewhere
Even
between
Thor
100
was
and
150.
Yeah, but A-list star.
What are you talking? What it cost? They got Vin Diesel.
and
For
John
one
C.
line.
Reilly.
For one line.
But what I'm saying is, so, I mean, even that, there are no huge stars. So I'm saying that...
John C. Reilly.
Zoe Saldana is a huge star in my world.
So anyway, whatever it is, I'm just saying it's very hard for it to fail. That's all I'm saying.
I completely agree. It's very hard for it to fail, even with a $150 million budget.
So if I had any complaint, and I had this complaint beforehand, is I love Nova, and those Nova costumes aren't Nova costumes, but whatever, I don't care. It's like, that doesn't bother me. I don't. I mean, if it's a main character and they look so friggin' off, it's like, oh, here's Superman, and he's like day glow and like he's got like a shield or something. I could be like, okay, well, that's obviously
I think
messed
as
up.
long as those costumes don't transfer into more of a steampunky view, you'll be okay.
I mean, it just looks armory.
It's a good thing Tim Burton never made that Superman movie.
That's exactly.
With the rainbow Superman.
Yeah, the Nova just doesn't. They look fine, and John C. Reilly's great. I mean, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
If they're playing it up for more
John C.
comedy,
Reilly.
a little more comedy and action, like I'm totally down with that.
Now, one of the guys on the forum is
John
opposed to
C.
this.
Reilly.
They said they were wishing that Jason Statham was the voice for Rocket Raccoon, and after he said that, I was like, actually, yeah, that would be cool.
No, this isn't a good movie for Jason Statham because he won't have a chance to drive a car quickly.
He could as a Rocket Raccoon.
But he can say, I
The
murder
rocket
you.
ship.
Yeah.
No. Watching this trailer just made me go, they're making a big budget Farscape movie, and then I was sold.
Farscape available on Netflix.
Bryce, to get back to you're trying. You're
Oh, see,
shooting
now that we
things-
put our love out, he's ready for his this. Look at that. Boom. Brock is coming for the review.
I'm trying to give other people mic time, but hey, I can.
He's just being
take
a
it
nice
all
guy.
up. Man of Steel. That trailer made me so happy for the movie, and then I was so fucking let down. So it's like ever since then, I've kind of been a little more jaded with trailers.
So I've told you guys before, I make a habit of not watching trailers. So I actually did not see the Man of Steel trailer, so I cannot comment on how I felt at that time. And I only watched this one because my wife, and this is kind of to your point, as loath as I am to do this, thought that it was actually...
the kids movie?
Actually, kind of, yeah. She was like, oh, Marvel's taking a big risk with this movie. And then I sat down and begrudgingly watched it and was like, oh, honey, they'll be just fine.
Then you gave her the nerd speech and she wondered why she married you?
No, I mean, and they really are, because...
I did one of those, too. Or one of those two happened.
There is some sort of, when you look at a movie like Green Lantern, I mean, they were obviously going to get some of it, but the movie was not reviewed well, so clearly didn't do very well. I think that really
Green Lantern, by the way, terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
It does have a big part. I mean, that is a big part of it. If Guardians comes out and people are like, if the reviews are overwhelmingly negative, that will strongly affect, I think. But it's the difference between...
I mean, people in general right now are happy.
They already have one thing going for them, in that they don't have Ryan Reynolds in the movie. So.
Well, as long as a critic
which is a million
doesn't
times
combine or doesn't put Green Lantern in their criticism of this movie, it should do okay.
So, yes, she's not a comic fan, my wife Kelly, but I think that was just some clickbait she read on CNN.com, which was Marvel takes a big risk with this trailer. Watch this trailer. And so she saw it and she said, I think they're taking a big risk. What? This is
the power of PR.
Headlines.
This is like meh is my reaction to this. I mean, I enjoyed the trailer, but I don't know why she would think it was a risk.
A couple of people in my office were surprised that was supposed to be funny. They were not sure to laugh. They were like watching it. They were like, hey. Wait a minute, is it supposed to be funny?
Exactly.
They were like, not even like, I was like, am I allowed to laugh?
Well, a while ago, Marvel had said that they want to approach this like Star Wars, a big action movie with humor and light elements. And that's exactly what this looks like. Maybe a little funnier, at least the trailer. But I mean, we don't know what the whole rest of the
totally
movie's gonna be
stoked
like.
for this. When I watched it, I was like, yeah.
No,
let's do this.
It looks fantastic.
Does Drax look a little weird?
That's a hard...
Like, he looked a little too scrunched down.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's a hard...
It probably has a lot of makeup on him.
More like tall. Yeah.
Well, I guess for me, didn't really bother me until I see him in action. If he's out there, like, fully kicking ass, killing things, then, yeah, I'm fine.
No, I totally agree. I was expecting more from Annihilation, where he looks more like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Like, just lean, mean, fucking kick your ass with knives.
Oh, he'll kick your ass.
But, yeah, he looked more hunchback
like
of
more,
Notre Dame.
Scrimps, like, no neck. Like, man, his headbutts aren't really going to do much.
Because this is all muscle.
I'm sure that he will kick plenty of ass. I have no doubt. So.
We saw a very brief glimpse of what's her face, Amy Pond.
Oh yes.
Horrible impression as Nebula.
Yes,
in there. So we got to see her.
Yes, I had to pause there for
very
a moment.
brief.
That was an impression.
I
thought you were like clearing your throat or
Amy
something.
Pond.
Wait,
trying to do some.
Yes,
Nebula
from Doctor Who
is Amy Pond. Yeah.
Get
Karen
out! We just watched the first Amy Pond episode.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I think. Can you get
What
your
do you mean
nerd
so
bone
sorry?
Did you just say so sorry?
What the hell is wrong with you, son of a bitch?
Were you guys not here?
11th hour is one of the best episodes.
Were you guys not here for the Doctor Who podcast that we recorded?
There's going to be
a
less
while ago?
people here next week.
I totally disagree with that. By the way,
What, 11th hour?
that was one of the best episodes.
You don't like it?
Oh,
I like it.
that's not what you said.
Yes?
Did I like it?
I think it's one of the best ones. If you were to
Was it
introduce...
one of the best episodes is like.
If you introduce anybody to Doctor Who, that's one of the best introductory episodes to put them in.
I agree because they New 52'd it.
Basically.
I mean, new
but
companion
Somebody say rejigger.
that happens a lot in Doctor Who, by the way.
and new Doctor in the same episode. It hadn't been done since the very first Eccleston episode. Sorry, Charlie. Respect, I've not seen the old episodes. But,
Which 2010?
I mean, carrying over Rose was a big part of. This isn't that
No,
podcast. So, but anyway,
But we can make
like
it that podcast.
No.
We can make it that.
Yeah.
Wanderinfor.com or whatever the hell your website is.
Wanderinfor.com.
Wanderinfor.com. Is that it?
Wanderinfor.com.
4D, does your website have smell-o-vision?
There you go. But no, I don't like. I mean, I'm sure she's a fine actress. I just don't like Amy Pond. Anyway,
I'm sure she's a fine person, but I hate her.
So she's Gamora. That's
No, she's Nebula.
no, Nebula.
whatever. Hot
Thanos'
chick.
daughter.
That's awesome.
Thanos' daughter. Yeah. So, however, if you are interested in this Guardians of the Galaxy movie, especially if you are a fan of a Rocket Raccoon,
Yes.
don't call him a raccoon. This has been, obviously known for a while, but there's been a bit of a push now because of the movie coming out. Bill Mantlo, who is the creator of Rocket Raccoon and worked for Marvel for many, many years, did a long run on the Hulk and a bunch of other comics. He actually retired from comics back, I want to say like mid-late 80s, moved on to other careers. But in the early 90s, actually got in a really bad car accident and has basically been in various hospice care or in the hospital in and out since. So at this point, almost over 20 years. While Marvel has apparently compensated in various fashions throughout the years, and especially more recently because of his creations and because of what happened. Greg Pak, if you guys all know him, he's a writer for Marvel and DC. Actually, on his blog has a donation site, a PayPal link to donate to Bill Mantlo for his continued care and service and stuff like that. So if you go on Greg Pak's website, he has a whole series of articles about this, and he's been trying to raise some money. And if you go spend $10-12 on a movie ticket, maybe go spend $10-12 and give this guy some money, because obviously this character and portions of the Guardians Rocket Raccoon was such a big part of the 08 Guardians reboot. Yeah. Would we be here if it wasn't for that? Who knows, probably right? Not. So it's possible, but you never know. So if you got some extra cash, that would be a good thing to do.
I'll put up a post with the links at conspiratorbark.com.
Yeah. Now I'm very excited. Marvel's got a movie with a talking raccoon, and DC can't even put out a Wonder Woman movie.
Finally, somebody brave enough to have a talking raccoon in a movie.
She's coming.
They're breaking the raccoon barrier.
That half-second clip of Rocket sitting on Groot's shoulder, going in a circle, yelling and screaming and firing it like a machine gun. Incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will buy my ticket for that scene.
It was almost as good as the Expendables 2 trailer with Bruce Willis spinning around in the back of a truck with machine guns.
To your point of Wonder Woman, rumor is we may sooner rather than later actually see some costumes from Man of Steel 2.
Raffi could throw a hissy fit.
It's
not blue enough. It's not gold enough.
No. It's Batman and Wonder Woman. Their costumes are supposedly in various forms of being done, or at least designed. So I think we're going to see those pretty soon.
Just keep the nipples off the Batsuit, please.
Well, didn't Kevin Smith confirm there are no nipples on the new Batsuit?
Probably.
I would like to recommend everybody wait in anticipation and then buy the Wolverine and the X-Men omnibus that's going to be coming out.
Oh, yes.
41 issues of incredible writing. For the most part, art. I was thinking today about how even the greatest runs have like small arcs within them that are fine but not great, but in retrospect never tarnishes the image of that great run. And so when I think back to the Frankenstein Circus of Crime arc, or the dog arc of Wolverine and the X-Men, which were fine, and at the time I was like, oh, come on, you have so much better material in you. The whole arc, 41 issues later, such a great arc. And I feel the same thing is happening and shaping up with Thor. Same writer is why I bring it up. It's because he's doing a great job. Like, I don't know how they're not bringing him more into the limelight, or if that's intentional or not. But I think that Thor is while slower coming, is also just as good. The Last Days of Midgard #1, if you guys read that, is great. But really, Wolverine and the X-Men omnibus, when that comes out, definitely.
You're not even going to highlight the price tag?
I don't know the price tag. Is that a?
It's only $100.
Yeah,
just $99.99.
Exactly.
It's probably the cheapest and best way to buy the book, because the trades are probably like $25 for 5 issues.
Brock and I can tell you, if you collected all of these and then bound them, it would cost more than that. So I will tell you right now that is
$60.
Quite a deal. There's some other good ones. I'll let you guys get back to your story. But Winter Soldier #1, I wasn't here last week. I wanted to say that I liked it. Wouldn't say that I loved it, but it's very nice to get sort of filler issues in on anything Nick Fury, and especially learn more about the Winter Soldier. X-Force, I thought, for what it's worth, was garbage, even though I'm a bigger Cable fan than Charlie. Yes, I said that.
Oh, you sure about that?
Oh, no. Move the mics.
The book
laying down the nerd smackdown
should be reading right now is Nick Spencer's Superior Foes of Spider-Man. I don't know if everybody's reading that, but you should be.
Can't believe Bryce said that.
I'm sorry to say that I've not been reading Superior Spider-Man. I'm just looking across the wall. What I want to know, and I would love readers to let Ryan know so that he can tell me.
Listeners.
Thor in Uncanny Avengers, he burns his arm off. Is that... I mean, like, it seems like nobody's acknowledging that this is happening in the rest of the in the Marvel U. So is that going to be, like, healed by his powers, or is that not being acknowledged, or, like...
I think your easiest answer to that is they are messing with time and space. Anything can be undone.
So Charlie would say it's timey-wimey.
Yeah.
Yes, it is very timey-wimey.
Now I'm waiting for the day for Bryce to come into the shop and going, I'm a bigger fan of Doctor Who than Charlie is.
That will never happen.
boy.
You already brought the cable.
But-
You already brought the
Yes.
cable.
Since I was single digits years old, I've been a bigger fan of Cable and Deadpool than Charlie. So, anyway.
I was a huge fan of him when they first introduced him. Thank you very much.
I was a huge fan of them before they came up with them.
Oh, jeez. Would you two capable hard-ons get
No,
out of the
I
way
just
so we can
You can go
remember when they
fighting.
did the first miniseries, Hunting Down the... Yes, I've been a big fan of Cable a very long time.
So I also want to say
Hold
something
on.
that-
Bryce, how many cable statues do you own?
I was a fan in X-Men 201 when he was a baby, before he was sent into the future. So,
I
Yes, that was
don't
cool.
read Marvel comics.
so
So
we have.
This is gonna
Go
be fun.
ahead.
I want to say very quickly
Yeah.
what I think doesn't get a lot of credit, because it's almost like you don't want to give it a lot of credit is Remender on Cap, because it is, you guys said last week, it makes no sense. Remender shines when shit is all effed up, and Cap is like the epitome of the hero where nothing's ever really that effed up, so it's sort of a conundrum or an oxymoron. I do have to say that, like, if it wasn't JR on his first run, which went way too long, that I think that people would be looking at this run in an entirely different light. I think that he's doing a good job of, developing Cap and sort of showing Cap in the light that, like, shit is fucked up for him. And it's continuing, even though they quasi rebooted it, and this Jet Black character I think is a cool character. And I think that, it'll be interesting to see where they go with her, but while I don't think that it's really good now, I do think that it's worth not writing off.
Well, it's not good. I wouldn't write it off.
But the best...
Just sum it up.
No, but you know what I'm saying. So without being an asshole, you can agree that...
No, I'm going to be an asshole now just because of the Cable comment. Thank you very much.
I've read 2 issues of Cap, and they were both pretty bad. I read number 1 and number 13.
I will say this: if you're really looking to get into the Remender Captain America, wait for that omnibus that comes out. It'll be the cheapest and probably best way to get it.
It's really not. It's really not. It's really
As
not.
a member of the starving student crowd, I can say I will not be buying that book.
Yeah, it's really not that good. But I really like Remender, so I really want it to be good.
Before we wrap up, we have a handful of questions. We're gonna
and questions.
I got these on my phone here. We're gonna power through a handful of these. Brock's friend Mitchell. What's up, Mitchell?
What's up, Mitch?
I already said
I
what's up,
shipped
Mitch.
out your
You don't have
books
to say
today.
it.
Ryan didn't do over the weekend.
Yeah, it's fine.
So plain at him.
So Brock's friend Mitchell. What's up, Mitchell? That's his name because it's what Brock says every time. And the pathologist, another guy on Twitter here that writes all the time. Both ask similar questions about Guardians of the Galaxy, basically being, should we read anything before we go see the movie? And my answer to that is yes, you should.
The stuff that's out of print.
You should go on
Coming back.
The first volume of the Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning trades are going to be available the week after the movie comes out, which is stupid. So if you want to read it beforehand, you should go to digital.comicsconspiracy.biz, and they're all available on our digital website through Comixology.
That'd be like $23 or $24 or something.
They're $1.99 each, and there's
okay, so
24 issues.
Yeah, so 50.
When does the Annihilation Omnibus come out?
Summertime, sometime before the movie.
You're ordering for everyone at this table, that right?
I will get one unless someone wants to tell me they want it beforehand. They're
Hello?
prepaying them. Okay.
Hello?
Pay up,
Charlie
yo.
doesn't eat it.
They better be getting that before the movie drops.
No.
Because that
Annihilation or Guardians?
the
Guardian-
omnibus.
The Annihilation Omnibus is before the Guardians' first volume, because they're basically doing like a fat trade, is after the movie is out. It's the week after the movie, which is stupid. The Captain America Winter Soldier hardcover is being reissued this week, which I guess is before the movie, but still not when I wanted it. So, Marvel, good one.
Wait, which one is being reissued?
They're basically taking the first 2 volumes of the Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, which is the 08 stuff. It's
the
it's 4
Captain
volumes.
America stuff.
2008.
Yeah.
That's forever ago.
It is. That's before forever ago.
Those are old comics.
Cap, this
Ancient.
week, the Winter Soldier is getting an oversized hardcover release.
Oh.
So, there you go.
Yeah, it doesn't matter for you. You have the.
I was gonna be insanely mad if Death of Cap is coming out again. I would have damn you.
So you guys
eBay.
should go on our digital store if you use those and go download the 24 issues of Guardians and Annihilation if you want. I mean, there's a lot more.
Yeah,
but,
you can. You only need to read the first. It's just 6-issue mini for Annihilation and Annihilation Conquest.
Yeah, I mean, there's the specials and stuff. You can go check those out.
Charlie has a lot of hardcovers of those. I've seen them on his bookshelf. I think I have to go over there and read them.
Or you can wait till after the movie comes out and buy from us the soft covers.
God, those are great stories, though.
Yeah?
That whole Annihilation Guardians of the Galaxy, that was incredible sleeper, great run on Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
I totally passed on it. I feel like a stupid idiot now.
Yeah.
It was the only Marvel comics other than Cap I was reading at the time.
Yeah, I look
Or-
at
or
his
buying.
bookshelves. They're just there, shining at me. I'm like, Toby, you idiot! You didn't buy us.
Timothy asks, what was the last comic that made you guys tear up, if any? Adventures of Superman 28. I believe he's talking about the digital comic. What was that for him?
Does laughing to the point where you start crying count?
I know Charlie's.
Okay, what was it?
It was the last issue of John's writing Green Lantern.
Yeah, probably
I don't know
was it.
that.
The one of him crying is probably the one after that.
Yeah, that's the one where I cried. Yeah.
No, that's the one I got angry.
Charlie Smash.
My one, I've only ever almost cried at a comic book one time in my life, which was Why the Last Man last issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That one's up there. I don't know if I have one.
Jeffrey asks, for the podcast, who would you want to be a sidekick to? Tony Stark.
Wait, so this isn't being a sidekick of somebody from the podcast?
Yeah, because that'd be pretty lame.
Who would you want to be a sidekick to? Who would you want? So Bryce.
Cable.
So if you beating to the punch.
Wow.
Starting a war.
I'm going to have to go Shakira is who I want to be sidekick to.
She a superhero?
In my mind.
Backup dancer does not count.
But come on, Tony Stark. Travel the world, multi-trillionaire.
He's also a man.
That's your pick.
I'm
sidekick,
I'm sorry.
but-
Did you guys read the A+X issue with
No.
Brew when he's the sidekick of Tony Stark?
No. Why would?
Oh my God.
Why would anyone buy that comic?
Oh, because it's incredible. That
Tony Stark, he's just going to be an asshole to you the whole time.
But money.
Oh, he was an asshole to Brew, and Brew. I don't know. I mean, you guys gotta love Brew.
Brew's great. I love Brew.
It was a great issue with Brew, just being plucky as ever, and yeah, Tony Stark was total a-hole.
Sure.
That story, even if you guys just burn read them off the shelf, it was a great little read.
I have a tie.
Who's your tie?
Jonah Hex and Booster Gold.
You get shot in the face?
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you see the women he hangs out with and the amount of booze he has and the good times?
They're usually pretty scarred.
That's all right.
Booster would be cool.
Booster
Booster would be
Gold,
fine.
just because, man, it'd be great to go everywhere.
Honestly,
Booster would be fine.
I'd have to say old Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond. I would just love to work for him, do anything, because he is a badass old dude with a cave with toys that he can no longer use because he's too old. So you're going to get to use them.
Hell yeah. Charlie, did you give me the answer?
No,
Chip?
I'm jumping around in my head. Chip would be cool.
Larfleeze?
Nah, Larfleeze would not be cool.
So we got two questions from Joe.
Atrocitus, maybe. Atrocitus.
Think about your answer.
Thank you for the question, Timothy.
Think your question. We got a couple of minutes here. Let's see if we can power through a few of these. Joe asked two questions. First one is Cyborg playing football in Justice League War, the made-for direct-to-DVD movie. Maybe curious about the scene they shot for Man of Steel 2, which takes place at a high school, or like a college football game, I believe. Not a high school. I believe it's a college football game. Thoughts? I don't think we're getting Cyborg in Man of Steel 2.
Is that the question?
Yeah. Possible, but I don't
What?
think so.
No.
They've rumored every asshole from Man of Steel
even
2.
DC won't barn it
I
up
don't-
that big
I don't think
to
so.
introduce Cyborg.
I don't think so.
That's too many. That's too many.
Well, depends on if it's just going to be a name drop on a screen and you don't actually see him
Right,
or
so
something
that's
like
totally
that.
Or it could be another Superman flashback where he's up against that team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
championship
That'd be
game
my
or something.
guess. That was my guess, is that it's a flashback to early Clark Kent.
DC's probably going to stick with the Trinity thing that they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
He also asked us last week. I apparently missed this, but he says, "Have we seen Misfits? And if so, what are our general thoughts on it?" Misfits, if I'm not mistaken, is a BBC show, a superhero BBC show.
That's in the U.S. on Hulu.
I've not seen it, though. Have any of you guys watched it?
I have seen it all now.
No. What do you think?
I like it for the most part. It gets really messed up in a lot of places.
I like it a lot, too, actually. Well, actually, I don't know if Charlie likes it a lot. I haven't seen as far as Charlie did. So it's kind of funny. I watched it before Charlie has. Charlie watched it later, but somehow surpasses my watching very faster than I did.
I remember describing the second episode to you, and you're like, wasn't that like second? No, that was the second episode.
I'm pretty sure I watched the first 2 seasons and I liked them quite a bit. I don't think I made it to third yet or fourth.
No, especially the first 3 seasons have a very sort of succinct story that they kind of built up to and told.
Yeah.
The 4th and 5th season feel like they got kind of tacked on, but there's a lot of parts of it that they just take sort of the superhero thing and go a lot of.
To tell people that don't know about the show, it's basically about these couple of delinquents that have to do this job.
You mean misfits?
Yeah, well, but the delinquents they basically have to do community service, and this lightning thing happens. Basically, the cloud at the Inhumans cloud happens, and they all get superpowers.
They got farted.
So then they no longer fit in quite as well.
Well,
no, they didn't fit in to begin with. But
the bottom line is this entire town, like a very small area, basically a bunch of anybody who was outside on that day developed powers sort of tailored to them.
Yeah.
So because it's Britain, it's not that many people.
Bubble Boy must have been pissed.
Yeah.
No, I mean the
This was my shot.
Well, no.
Somebody let me out of here.
It's the character who was filled with regret got the ability to rewind time. The character that was worried about how he was going to survive on the streets became immortal. The character
that was only kind of went invisible. The girl that likes to be known as the gorgeous girl, everybody starts wanting her and stuff like. So some of the powers are not powers you want, even.
Basically, if you like or don't like Misfits, you will love Marvel Comics.
Well,
you should check it out. Actually, Bryce, you should check it out. I think you might like it.
Before they got the powers, they were misfits. Then after they got the powers, they were still misfits.
There's another show that you may or may not like, depending if you like this. That is the
Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Well, that's a good show anyway. But the late, not very lamented, Heroes television show.
Only seasons 1 and 1.9.
Yeah, I'll give you seasons up to like 0.12. We had 2 questions.
0.12?
But I don't know how many episodes.
What
in
is
the
that?
first
Do you
season?
like
13?
only the first season? The first
up to the last
episode.
The first season.
The first
up to
season
the last
and a half
episode
were awesome.
Up to the last episode. Last episode of season 1 kind of sucked, and it never was good after that. Anyway. The reason I ask is because Bryce is about to eat his microphone again. They announced earlier this week Heroes Reborn. No connection to the Marvel Comics Heroes Reborn, where they've reborn their heroes by Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld.
With the best artists, including Liefeld. That's right, I said it. Cable lover, hashtag.
Hashtag
they had
Bryce
the
likes
best
Cable
artists
more than Charlie.
on those 4 books. Heroes Reborn, like that was a moment in time that was so ludicrous and so ridiculous.
It was a nut,
but they
nuts
had
of
the
time.
best 4 artists at the time,
Yeah.
and it will never happen again.
And then they remembered they needed writers.
And Cable appeared in an issue of Captain America at that time.
So we had 2 questions.
Yes, he did, Bryce. Suck it.
I'm pretending not to know.
Oh,
We had 2 questions about this one.
I'm liking this little Bryce Charlie rivalry going here.
ding, ding, ding.
One question coming from actually one of our subscribers and customers, Mike. Toby, one of Toby's guys.
Stevens?
Yeah, Mike Stevens.
What's up?
He's asking if you're in control of the Heroes reboot, what do you change? What do you keep? You change nothing. You keep everything. You keep the show canceled.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what's the question?
Yeah, Jesus,
What
slow
just
down.
happened?
You were in control of the Heroes reboot. What do you change? You change nothing. What do you keep? You keep everything exactly the way it is. You keep the show canceled. That's my answer.
Is there a question?
Yeah, what do you change? What do you keep? My answer is you change nothing. You keep it exactly the way it is. Canceled.
My answer is change the channel over to Arrow.
And then Ryan Hess, who sends us questions through all the time, asked him, well, what do you think about Heroes coming back in 2015? Did any of us watch it? Yes, I watched the whole first season. I thought it was great till the last episode. I watched the whole second season. I was like, well, this kind of sucks. And then I watched the first.
Bell.
And then I watched
Veronica Mars.
Then I watched the first episode of season 3. I got about 10 minutes in, and I was like, fuck this show. And I was like, this is the same goddamn garbage bullshit from the last season. I'm done and I'm out. And then I got canceled.
1.5 seasons.
So there you go.
Did you make it?
Save the cheerleader, guys.
Did you make it to Teabag?
I have no idea.
Oh.
No, that was season 4, and I didn't even finish that.
Can we end on a good question?
Yes, we can absolutely end on a good question.
Awesome.
Dennis says,
Hi, Dennis.
I missed a boat on Superior Spider-Man.
Oh,
I'm looking forward. He goes, I might pick some up at WonderCon, but do you think it'll ever come out in a collected hardcover? Looking forward to the episode.
Superior Spider-Man, you can get back on the boat right here.
Well, all the early issues are sold out. However, all the issues are being collected in nice oversized hardcovers. The first volume's already out that collects the final arc of Amazing Spider-Man, where Doc Ock becomes Peter Parker. And let's say that
spoiler alert.
So, yeah. And then the first trade, the second hardcover just came out or just got solicited. It's coming out soon.
It's coming out soon. It's been solicited for a while.
And then I believe there'll be a third that should collect. There should be maybe 4 oversized hardcovers should collect the entire run. And then
they'll announce an omnibus, and I'll be like, yes!
And then there will be a nice omnibus. So, yeah, I'm sure.
Oversized and overpriced, the Marvel way.
Yeah. Well, actually,
everyone's way.
Here's a better question to go out on. Nate wants to know, why did Marvel have to kill 2 enjoyable X-Forces and start a new crappy one?
I'm sorry, I wasn't aware of the 2 enjoyable X-Forces. I only knew about the one. Was there a third one that they killed in association with? Wait, which one was the bad one? I'm getting them all confused.
You liked Cable and X-Force.
I was about to say, if you name the other one the good one.
I know. It was Uncanny was the Psylocke one, right?
No, I think you was talking
Uncanny
about
was
Vendetta was good.
Yes, the final crossover.
But it was too late.
Picking up from your Book of the Month pick from forever ago.
I think he was talking about
thank you very much. One of us likes Cable more than the other, Charlie. Yeah,
I think he was talking about that X-Force and Remender's X-Force and all the rest of it.
No, I believe he's talking about Cable and X-Force and Uncanny X-Force.
Yeah.
So anyway, why did they get rid of 2 good X-Force books? They didn't. They only got rid of 1. And why did they replace it with 1? It's god-awful. Oh, it's killing me.
It's the Marvel way.
And
you should be lucky that they only came out with 1 more.
At least one thing we can agree
5 or
on
6
is we're going to keep reading it anyways because it's got Cable in it.
My man.
Yes. All right.
So it will be
Did you guys
to be
just
reading.
become Cable Bros?
So I don't remember if Ryan said this last week, but how ludicrous is it for anybody that read X-Force that in the first 2 or 3 pages they're like, oh yes, this big explosion that happened in Alexandria or something that killed 3 to 5, I forget what the number was, 1,000 people, and it was like, oh yeah, that really irked some people.
That's like a Magneto level crossover
that was
murder.
I mean, how many people died in Pearl Harbor 9/11? Like 3,000, 5,000 people died.
Well, killed by a mutant too. And they're like, oh, it's just a thing that happened. It's like, no, based off post AVX stuff, that should be
we need to stop this from happening. It's like, yeah, what? Nobody else knows this happened. I guess what?
And it wasn't just 3,000 people. It was 3,000 political leaders, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, that's why nobody gave a shit. Maybe political leaders.
Maybe
it was actually Congress.
Spurrier he's crazy. He's made Marrow. Now she has metal bones. He made Phantom X even more Frenchy crazy than before. I still like how he's jonesing for Psylocke because let's be real, who isn't? But just that whole book, I don't know if Simon Spurrier ever did anything good, but after X-Men Legacy and issue 1 of this book, I don't know.
Why does it look like Cable's got one of those straps you hold crazy people down with around his head?
That's
it looks like one of those things they put around your wrist.
That's his Naruto headband.
I don't know what's a headband. You were probably complaining about shoulder pads when Charlie and I love Shatterstar, so STFU.
All right.
No, that's what it looks like.
Thank you, everyone, for this lovely podcast. Chris, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully we weren't too crazy and weird. So it's just like an average conversation when you're here on a Wednesday, right? I mean, it's just we just record in front of a microphone.
Yeah, just a couple more assholes than usual.
Yeah. There's usually a few
a-holes. There's a lot of a-holes today.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Jim, thanks for being there. Hope you enjoyed.
Live
Hope you weren't too bored.
Yeah, where's our laugh track?
He was laughing. I heard him. Some of those got picked up.
By the way, talking about laugh track, I just want to sneak this in. I actually was bored enough to try to watch the Rob Schneider stand-up special available on Netflix. And I swear...
Good Lord.
I swear it was a piped-in laugh track for a live stand-up performance, which I had never seen before.
Talk about ending on good stuff. Jesus. Rob Schneider.
Yeah, no, terrible stuff, good stuff. Go check it out.
He was laughing whenever we were talking about Man of Steel, though.
John C. Reilly.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Geekbox.net and comicsconspiracy.biz is where you can find this episode and all our other episodes. Forums at geekbox.net is where you can talk to us. Contact form on geekbox.net or send an email to thecomic.conspiracy@geekbox.net. I'm never going to say that again. Say geekbox.net like 9 times.
Say what 9 times?
We're on Twitter. I'm Ryan Higgins Ryan. Brock is Brock Sager. Bryce is Larsen Bryce. Omar, who isn't here this week for his book club pick. We're going to do that next week. So don't worry. Sorry, guys. He is Comics and Decline. Chris, you do any Twitters?
I totally have Twitter.
You follow me, I think.
I know, and you've never responded to any of my comments.
Really?
Dick.
I have to follow you. I think I've seen you pop up once or twice, and I'm like, oh, it's Chris. I need to follow him.
You have to troll him.
Yeah, I'm
more.
sure that's what you said in your
only
head.
replied
It wasn't
to
more
me
like,
one
oh, it's
time.
Chris.
No, I think I've seen
Shit.
you on there. No.
No. Yeah, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at The Chief Is In.
All right.
Yeah, my old DJ name, The Chief.
Toby's Toby XI. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. A bunch of us do random stuff. Brock has conspiratorrock.com. Omar has Comics and Decline. Do you want to pimp something? You got something to pimp? You doing anything? Yeah.
No, I'm just wasting all my money on comic books.
That's what I want to hear. All right.
It's an investment.
And Charlie
That's what they tell me.
And Charlie has
His Empire.
the Infinite Longbox podcast, as well as Wanders in 4D podcast, his Doctor Who podcast from first episode ever chronologically through to current.
Yep.
See you in a couple years.
If you go to cablelover.com, it's a picture of me.
Pretty sure it's like a bondage site or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I'm not going to cablelover.com. I'm sorry.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
You know, traditionally they use leather and not
No,
metal
I'm
cables.
just curious to see if that domain name is purchased after this.
I'm sure. It's
After
already-
this
I'm sure it's already
podcast.
live.
It's
What you
probably
talking about?
already.
All right. Oh yeah, those Guardians books. If you like that trailer, digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. That's the only way you can get them. Go buy them on there. If not, you want to pre-order an omnibus, a hardcover. You want to pre-order anything. You want to set up a subscription. You want to buy comic books. We sell comic books.
I ship them.
You want to hang out on a Wednesday?
Brock ships them. You can come to the store, or you can call us, or you can go on our website. You can visit the store. You can send me an email through that email we gave earlier. You can contact me on Twitter, on Facebook.
I bet you'd even accept snail mail.
On Tumblr, you can send me a letter. You can send
That would
me
be nice.
a telegram. You can send me Morse code. Well,
I don't think we could do the Morse code.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure you
wanna
could
see
do the
the
Morse
movie
code.
go
one.
I want to see the Morse code
we'll
happening.
ship some books out to you. We take PayPal. We take cash. We take checks, kind of. Not you often, but we can.
Do you take Bitcoin?
Take credit cards? Yeah. No, I take Dogcoin only. Okay.
Dogecoin?
And Kanye West, but I do
Kanye
not,
West?
But I do not take Bitcoin. No, sorry.
Those other digital currencies are just
Now,
copycat currencies.
Before we end,
Dogecoin.
you didn't answer my question. How many cable statues do you own, Bryce?
So
Do you hear collects kind of statues?
no, they do not. And out of all of the statues that I own, I have one statue, and it is Cable. So it is 100% of my collection.
All right, hold on.
Which cable?
Oh!
Why is that an?
Because there's multiple cable statues. Charlie, how many do you own?
Well, I only own the one because I only keep
No,
one
they're
out.
tied.
But now,
What the hell?
we're gonna compare sizes.
no.
No, I just wanted to know if
My
you had
cable
the
statue's bigger
sideshow,
than
the
yours.
Bowen, or the classic.
Jim
cable
is
that came out
holding up the
recently.
number 3.
Oh yeah,
Okay, never mind. Jim wins. He's got
wins.
3 of them.
Jim always
He's the
wins.
actual biggest cable fan.
I do want to know who has the bigger one between Charlie and Bryce, though.
Let's agree.
Well, that's for later when the show's over and the lights are off.
There you go.
You guys
All right.
can figure that out in the bathroom on your
Thank you, everyone.
Sword fighting.
We are done. We are beyond done. Thank you.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Girl, you just don't realize what you do to me. When you hold me in your arms so tight, you let me know everything's alright.